Good morning, Simonetta.
Hey, good morning, Tofi.
I think that there is a special day for you today.
Yes.
What is special?
Today, 20 years ago, the General Assembly adopted the UN Firearms Protocol as the third protocol that supplements the Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. For us, a very special day.
I also think so, because that was, I think, the first global and legally binding document which sets a sort of rules and lots of provisions and standards in terms of the dealing with the flows of the firearms and trade in the firearms.
Right. It is the very first legally binding global instrument. That's right. There have been other instruments afterwards that complement.
Mm-hmm.
But the Firearms Protocol remains the only one that really addresses at global level also the linkages to transnational organized crime. And that sets really a foundation for international cooperation in this field.
In the area of combating organized crime in any type, the important element is that there is, let's say, structure and the system for tracing and recording and this type of stuff. And I think that the Firearms Protocol have set these standards in terms of the recording and marking of the firearms.
Yes, right. This is one very important commitment that state parties have taken. Another important commitment is that to establish a system of mutual licenses or authorizations so that no firearm or their parts and components and ammunition can cross or transit a country, the border of another state, without that state being informed about it. That's crucial to prevent diversion and illicit trafficking.
Exactly. I think that the tracing firearms from the moment of the production and till the moment of the reaching the final destination is really very important to make sure that there is no diversion into illicit trafficking and illicit trade. And I think that from that point of view, the Firearms Protocol provides really a very solid basis as one of the solid and strong pillars in combating organized crime.
Yes, and in fact, it is the only instrument that makes it mandatory for state parties to criminalize, to establish as a criminal offense, the illicit manufacturing, the illicit trafficking, and the tampering of markings. This is also important to enforce this preventive system and these control measures that are established under the protocol.
So, thinking of that, I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is that by doing so, by following the Firearms Protocol, we're also contributing seriously to the development goals. And I think this is also the element that should not be overlooked.
Absolutely. Implementing the Firearms Protocol is a way to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, in particular its goal 16.4, that commits states to significantly reduce illicit financial and arms flows.
I don't want to be seen unprofessional, but sometimes when we are speaking the language of the experts and specialists. But the most important thing from my point of view is also delivering the message to the general public, to the general audience. Do we have anything in this area?
Yes, we have been thinking of something that we could do to mark this special day. So the Global Firearms Program team has decided to launch, as of today, an initiative called Let's Talk Firearms Protocol. And it is precisely what you say. We wanted to bring the protocol closer to the public, to the general public. So, for example, later today, if you stay tuned, you will hear about what experts from different countries and regions and backgrounds think about the protocol. But then, as of tomorrow, until the end of the year, this campaign will give more information to the public. So, for example, every Tuesday and Friday, a member of our team will introduce and explain one article of the Firearms Protocol.
I think it's a very good initiative. One more thing that probably I should mention, that yes, we have official UN languages, but I think if the messages are being delivered in more languages, the better would be. So any developments in the area?
We have decided to present the articles, each team member in its own language and in its own words. We will cover around 16 languages, including traditional languages. And we really hope there will be English subtitles. And we hope to trigger a little bit the interest about the protocol, because, as you rightly say, not everybody knows what the protocol is really about. And the protocol belongs to everybody. And in fact, we are also celebrating 10 years of our program that promotes the protocol through multilingualism, through different geographical backgrounds from our team members.
This is one of the advantages of working in the United Nations, when you have people from different continents, from different cultural background, different ethnicities, but even we speak the same language, but maybe in different languages, but we deliver the same message.
Exactly.
So stay tuned and watch us in the social media and other platforms.
Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.